what you need, yeah. Man, I got it, wow.
Everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. This is the show we talk about sports with comedians, and let's get ready to get him in here. My man Howie Bell's up first. Howie, how you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm cold, but I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah, you know
Chicago
why?
got me chilly. Chilly, Chicago.
Yeah, you know why? Because you went to LA last week, and now your ass is paying for it.
Yeah, you ain't lying. I'm paying for it dearly.
Yeah, that's right. Right. My man Damian Jones, comedian Damian Jones in the building. Hey, how you doing, sir?
Hey, man, today is a great day, and I'm sure we're going to talk about why it's such a good day later. What's up, my brother Howie?
Hey, I feel the same way, brother. Hey, how you doing, brother?
Well, hold on. I just want y'all to know it's a great day for me too. It's what y'all know that too. It's a great day.
Yeah, y'all did. Who's y'all play?
Golden State, but don't worry about that.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about that. Filmmaker Jason Hayes is in the building too. Jay, how you doing, sir?
What up, fellas? It's all good.
What up, though?
Yeah, good to see you. Good to
What
see
up,
you.
Jay?
And my man White Chalk is in the building too. I don't know what happened to D. Jones. He just dropped real fast. But anyway, White Chalk is in the building. How you doing, sir?
Listen, my day got off to a bad start, but it's much better now that I'm here with you guys. So happy Friday.
There it is.
D. Jones probably left to do a victory lap.
I couldn't hear y'all, so I had to come back in. Now I'm ready for all the smoke.
Okay, well, it's getting ready to be one of those type of days. Let's get ready to get it started. Howie Bell, you know how we do. We got to talk about the hot topics in sports, the hot stories in sports. And today, it looks like the top story today has got to be Women's Sports Sundays is happening on ESPN. And only reason why I wanted to talk about this first is because they're getting ready to start featuring basketball instead of Sunday night baseball. And people are up in arms about this happening. And I'm going to talk about the WNBA and negotiations and their contracts in a second, as you guys know. But why do you think, Howie Bell, people are so up in arms about Sunday night baseball being kicked off of ESPN in place of the WNBA, when it looks like WNBA would have probably more viewership? What's your thoughts, Howie Bell?
I mean, you got a lot of old men watching baseball. Don't like to see them young girls doing nothing in place of their baseball, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's an old man sport. When it boils down to it, so them guys been watching baseball Sunday nights for umpteen years. You gonna put these little girls on there? I don't know. I mean, maybe that's why they may be up in arms. You know what I mean? But I think it's good for WNBA. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Good slot for them, but bad slot for the old man that's been watching baseball on the couch. You know what I'm saying? For a long time.
That's a good possibility. But D. Jones, this brings up the thought is that the only way ESPN would do that is because viewership has been at a steady decline, and they feel that viewership would probably be a lot better for the WNBA. What's your take, D. Jones?
I blame ICE because they might charge the field.
Oh, why not?
It's great exposure for the WNBA. They need it. And they only play, 4 weeks anyway. They'll be right back on playing baseball on Sundays. And yes, baseball is super long. It doesn't really get fun until later in the season when it's like playoff implications going on. So they'll be all right, man. We a little tired of all these 600 baseball games every year anyway.
Yeah, it is national pastime. Jay, it is, like I said, it's the national pastime. I think they made a change because they're trying to get eyeballs, get their sponsorships happy and everything else. But viewership's been declining in baseball. WNBA is not taking over. What's your take on this, Jay? What you thought?
I'm not saying that every dude complaining has a MAGA hat.
But I am.
But I would bet good money that about 79% of them got MAGA hats in their closet. Because to them, all they hear is DEI. You know what I mean? That's DEI. I mean, why are you going to take off something that nobody watches to put on something that people will? You know what I mean? That's just what it is, bro. And listen, and one thing that we know for sure is they don't do nothing that don't make monetary sense. They ain't just taking it off. You know what? Let's be good to women now. And let's take off a really profitable show and put something on that's going to lose money for us. If they're doing it, it's more money in it for them. And that's what it is.
Right. I'd have to agree with that. What is your take on that, Steve? It's got to be about money. It's got to be about money.
Well, money's part of it, but don't forget, Sunday Night Baseball moved to NBC, so they have to fill that slot now. And it's a good way for them to get exposure for the WNBA, where they're trying to negotiate a new labor contract and also try to expand to 3 or 4 more teams. And so what's going on Sunday Night Baseball? On Sunday nights in the summertime, I just looked at the WNBA schedule. They start in May and they finish in September.
Yep. So
they have all that runway on Sunday nights to compete with Sunday Night Baseball on NBC. And listen, as an old white guy, I tune in on Sunday Night Baseball as like surround sound, right? If it's not the Red Sox, I just have it on as background noise. So if the WNBA has what it had last year with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and stuff, and they're drawing more attention and the product is better, then somebody like me might tune in some of those games instead of baseball. So it got boring, like Miami Marlins versus like Colorado Rockies. I ain't watching that, right? Honestly, so maybe I'll flip over.
Honestly, I was saying is the baseball market is shrinking. No matter how many ways they want to slice it, no matter how many ways they want to look at it and everything else, the viewership is shrinking every single year. There hasn't been a year that they haven't had an incline. The only time they had a little bit of an incline was when the World Series happened last year. That was the best viewership that they've had in decades. And that might be because it was the Dodgers, which had a huge Asian, population and community tuning in. You know what I mean? That I'm sure that had a lot to do with it because of what oh my God, now I can't think of his name. Ohtani was doing. You know what I mean? That's probably the only thing I could see why people even tune in for the Dodgers for the World Series. But that's where we're at.
But Frank, we can't overlook this. We can't overlook this. Don't let this pass.
Okay.
Chocolate said that he would not watch baseball tonight in favor of seeing some cheeks. That's what he said.
Yeah, but don't tell my wife that.
He said, I might be willing to turn away to see some Angel Reese cheeks.
Yeah.
That's what I heard you say.
In layman's terms, that's what he said.
That's what he said.
So why not Caitlin Clark cheeks?
Yeah.
Your cheeks.
Listen,
She ain't got no cheeks.
Listen.
You got lamb
That's what I'm
chops.
saying. Caitlin Clark, what she got?
She got lamb chops or something. You know what I mean? She got some braised lamb chops.
White chocolate wants to see some chocolate cheeks. I ain't mad at you.
Man, they get on ham addicted, man. Don't start. Yeah, high blood pressure and everything.
Listen, I gotta make the name fit, yo.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, you guys are so Bell. All right, Howie Bell. That brings up the WNBA, Howie, because the WNBA is literally in contract negotiations right now. They've been talking about some things right now, but the thing about right now with the WNBA is they're having some concessions on revenue sharing, and the WNBA is being a stickler for the housing. If you're sitting at home and you're watching this and you don't understand what's going on with the housing, the WNBA players want the WNBA to provide for housing because they don't make enough money to be able to obviously pay for housing and everything else. So there's an issue with them. They want, because they don't make enough money, they want the WNBA. It's a stick, like they're not budging off that part. How you feeling about that, Howie?
You know what? Women are expensive. You know what I'm saying? They want their housing paid for now. You know, they want you to take care of it. What's next? Huh? Gucci bed sheets? What's happening here? WNBA? What are y'all talking about? Pay for my housing. Who does the NBA pay for that housing for the players?
No, of course not.
Exactly. I mean, So come on, man. I mean, y'all asking for a lot. Come on, ladies. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, what else? What kind of what more do you want us to put in this line item? You know what I'm saying? What else do we have to put in there? Come on, man. Pay for your housing, pay for your bills, pay everything. Bills. They made a song about that, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Come on, WNBA ladies. Come on. Stop it.
Yeah, they definitely did. Let me see what D Jones is thinking about. He's still sidetracked about the Pistons. We're gonna come to the Pistons second. We're gonna do that. But
Oh, I
what's your
wasn't
thing-
thinking about the Pistons, but speaking of the Pistons and the WNBA, I don't know about the housing, but maybe the New York Liberty should trade for Karl Anthony Towns. And then see if his contract can afford some housing. That's what they should do.
He be
That's
out
how
there
he
dominating
played,
though, bro.
Yeah,
how they played last night.
yeah. That was bad. But where you at with this contract negotiations, D Jones? How you feeling about that? You think that the WNBA is gonna get the owners are gonna get up off that?
If they do, man, introduce me to Skylar Duggan. I'll live with her, you know?
You can roommate that. You put the bill for that one.
Yeah, I'm with it. Go give them what they need. Give them what they need, man.
Yeah, what they asking
I
for-
don't know, but would that take away from the money that they already asking for?
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
Yeah, this don't make sense. But hey, I don't want to say woman logic, so I'm
But-
not gonna say it.
Okay, but okay, you're not gonna say it. Okay, all right. Let me see what Jay got to think. Jay, what's your take on this contract negotiations with WNBA and some of the stuff that they're sticking points for them?
If there's gonna be a line in the sand, that's a hell of a line in the sand. Line in the sand, to stand on.
Mhm.
Because I know that New York Liberty, they play here in Brooklyn.
Right.
And I pulled it up. Do you know what the salary cap is per WNBA team?
No, I do not.
It is $1,507,100. That's for the whole team, right? So if you playing in New York City, you playing in Los Angeles, you playing in Seattle, which I think they got a team there. They're trying to bring a team back there. Even Chicago, places like that, where it's hella expensive to live. The average salary is $102,000.
Mhm.
That's on the high end. On the low end, they getting paid less than $67,000 a year.
Right.
So if you get paid $67,000 a year to play for the New York Liberty, you ain't got to worry about commuting to the stadium because you're gonna be sleeping in the parking lot.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just gonna step out of a tent and walk into the building to shower to go back to the tent when the game is over. So they can't live here. So if you're not gonna pay them the money to be able to live comfortably, then you gotta then you gotta offset that cost some kind of way and like get team housing some kind of way.
So, Jay, it sounds like you literally was inside their negotiations because that's exactly what they're saying, and they're using that instance of the New York Liberty as their point. That's exactly what their problem is. That's exactly what they're saying. You must be.
So like they all live in the same apartment complex or condo type deal?
Well, they should because they probably get a break for their rent and everything else. They should. But at the end of the day, they literally are using playing for New York as the example of why that they're having an issue in this line in the sand where they asking the WNBA owners to be able to pay for the players. Literally, they used New York as a.
But the is that's just or like
You're breaking up. How?
Yeah, he's breaking up.
How you're breaking up? I can't hear you. Yeah, you might have to sign out. You might have to sign out how and come back in. To Steve, talk to me. Tell me what your thoughts are.
I agree with Jay. I mean, I think it's ridiculous. If they make it $60,000, they can't live in New York. None of us could.
Nobody can live $60,000.
If we can't live there, and nobody can live there, you can't expect them to be part of that team, and then either not compensate them salary wise to make up the difference, or make some kind of community housing, like all of them are in a hotel and you're paying their rent for the season. But then after the season, they have to figure out where they're going. I mean, listen, they may have to commute longer. Maybe they can only afford to live an hour away instead of being right in the city, unless they have stipulations in their contracts that say, oh, you have certain cities have like their police or whatever says you have to live within the city. Like, I don't think the basketball players or any of the athletes have to live directly in the city, but think about Jay knows, right? Try driving around in New York or Brooklyn or anywhere else down there, and they're trying to get to the game. Forget it; they'll never get there.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing: the average rent in Brooklyn, like this is like in a neighborhood where you'll still get stabbed. It is $4,000 a month.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That
Wow.
that is post-tax dollars.
Mhm.
Nobody can
You know what I'm
afford that.
saying? So you've got to fix that some kind of way, man.
Yeah.
3,000 for a studio.
Yeah, you have to, they have to figure it out, or else
So what?
visit
So
those.
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
man.
Go
Can you
ahead.
hear me now?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
I
Go
get
ahead.
it.
So what I was gonna say is that that's a great point, but New York is really a bad example because there's nowhere else in America like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where
The
it's
Bay
that
Area,
expensive.
LA's like that too.
Your Bay may be like close to that, or LA may be close to that, but New York is a unique place. And then those are still only 3 places. You know what I'm saying? The league has how many teams? I don't know how many teams WNBA has. You know what I'm saying? But there are a lot of places. And then if you go down south where it's highly affordable, they live in their houses with high ceilings for a fraction of that.
Yeah.
So you got beautiful homes and beautiful neighborhoods, and in Georgia and North Carolina and all these places. So I get the New York thing, but then if you can bring an example up of how people live in Texas and how they living in, you know what I'm saying, of these other markets in the South where they getting way more bang for their buck, and that's anybody, not just WNBA players.
They're not all in the
But
South, though. I'm looking at the list right now. Las Vegas, Dallas,
Expensive.
Atlanta, New York, LA, Toronto, Phoenix, Washington. I mean, listen, there's some expensive places there.
yeah,
Las Vegas,
America is expensive. You know
Atlanta's
what I'm
I
saying?
know
not
that's
cheap,
what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
nowhere to live is cheap. So you have to.
Yeah,
think
nowhere to live is cheap.
Listen,
But I guess my point is, what are we doing? We're gonna put them in dormitories, or we're gonna put
Gotta
them in
figure it
like
out.
how are we doing it? Like it's just I don't know. I'd rather get if I was playing for the WB, I'd rather get my money and let me go find out where I want to live at.
At
You know what I'm saying?
at the end of the day, they just have to pay the players a little bit more money so they
Yeah.
can figure out where they want to play. That's it.
Or
Where they wanna play.
subsidize that housing.
Yes. Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
You got
Yes,
it.
that's it.
But here's the thing: any loss is a tax deduction for the organization.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter, man. I mean, whatever they pay
It's
can
just the
be
principle.
deducted on their
Yeah.
taxes. So why not do that? I mean, it makes no sense to do that.
It's just the principle. But let's move on, man. Let's move on because we can talk about that for hours, and I don't want to do that. Howie Bell is now. You got the floor, Howie. We got to talk about the Detroit Pistons made a huge statement last night. They beat the New York Knicks by a score of 126 to 111. People right now are sitting up there saying, that might have not been sure about the New York Knicks. They definitely sure about one thing: the New York Knicks are not ready. That's one thing. Cade Cunningham scored 42 points, and the New Detroit Pistons have the best record in the NBA. So, what do we talk about right now? How did the Detroit Pistons make a huge statement last night against beating the New York Knicks for the third time? What's your take on this?
Yeah, I think that was the third statement that they made. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They've been doing this and they've been. But you know what, man? The Pistons got it in for New York, dog, from last season, from that playoffs last year. See, people don't understand, bro, and we're ready. These are the new bad boys.
Yeah.
They doing everything. They can beat you up. You know what I'm saying? They can play good defense. They can score. Cade Cunningham is becoming a superstar right before our eyes. We got the best coach in the league. We kicking ass right now. New York is just in the way. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The crazy part about this is,
And I know Detroit.
Go ahead, Howie. Go ahead. You went out.
What I was gonna say is I know D Jones is gonna have a little more, color, add some color to this. But when I can not playing around. We're not playing around right now.
D Jones, here's the crazy part that I noticed last night that I heard this morning is that Detroit Pistons didn't have 2 of their players that were held on suspension from before the All-Star break, and they still ended up beating the Knicks last night. So did Detroit make a statement to you? I mean, besides being a Detroit Pistons fan, what's your take on this, D Jones?
Well, not that I'm biased or anything like that. We were missing Jalen Duren in all 3 games. The first game won by 38. The second game, I think, won by 24. I don't know. And this one by 15. Cade Cunningham went to the Garden, to the Mecca, in front of everybody and showed why he should be the MVP. That's one. He balled out last night. I never thought that the Pistons could make it to the NBA Finals this year or even win it. But if they play like this, the sky is the limit. They can win it all, even though you got to struggle before you get to the mountaintop. Maybe last year was a struggle, and this year is it. The East is still wide open. I blame one person. Well, I blame Cade Cunningham is to blame for last night. JB Bickerstaff is to blame for last night. And what's the New York head coach?
Mike Brown.
I know Mike Brown is a former coach of the year, but he had LeBron. We could be coach of the year with LeBron. LeBron was the coach.
Right.
So
Wow.
I don't think like Thibodeau made these boys run hard and play hard, and he exhausted them. But they had the Knicks was tough.
Mhm.
All that toughness is out the window, man. And the Pistons just have a complete squad from top to bottom. No, we don't have the best shooting in the league, but we play the best defense. Defense wins championships, and we showed that last night. And when Cade played like this, he the MVP, man. And shout out to the Pistons. Shout out to everybody from Detroit. 313. Shout out to Jalen Rose. Shout out to Eminem, Royce the Five. I can keep going, but y'all know what it is.
Yeah, I know you could keep going. Jay, talk to me, man. Tell me from your perspective, looking at it from 3,000 feet, man. The Pistons, did they make a statement last night against the Knicks by defeating them for the third time in the Garden with Cade Cunningham dropping 42? What's your take?
Before I get into it, man, this just in, the WNBA ownership countered that they would provide studio space for only fan pages.
Okay.
I thought you had some real news coming.
That might be real news.
Hey, Howard, don't be surprised when they come out. Well, listen, we'll get a studio for you if you want to get that OnlyFans thing rolling.
Angel Reese, let's go.
She will be a billionaire.
I think they OnlyFans, them girls that look like us.
Yeah.
Some of them we don't want to see. Man, listen, Detroit's been the best team in the East all season long. And last night was just an outgrowth of that. I don't think the Knicks are as bad as you would think that game would make them look. I just think that Detroit is just really gelling, and they're a really good team this year. And they can do that to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. They could. The scary part about it is too, the Knicks, Jay, are literally on the pace to face them in the second round of the playoffs. You know what I mean? That's the pace that they're on, because the Knicks has been losing. Obviously the Detroit Pistons has been winning, and that's what we could be looking at. I don't know, Jay. I'm concerned. If I'm a Knicks fan, I'm concerned because ultimately this was supposed to be the Knicks' year to get to the finals. Correct? Am I wrong? Am I right or wrong?
Yeah. But in sports, you always gotta kind of allow for an adjustment period when a new coach come in with a new scheme. You know what I'm saying? Like, teams have to learn how to play that. So, now this is New York. He might not survive, if things don't go right. But normally you see the growth in like year two. Mm-hmm. When the new coach comes in, they got the players. He's not inheriting players. He realized, I need this guy instead of having this guy. He fits the scheme better. So we'll see, man. But Detroit's just tough right now.
Yeah, they are. They are. Steve, that leaves me to you. What's your take on the Detroit Pistons defeating the New York Knicks last night? Do you think that it was a mirage, an anomaly? They did it for the third time. What's your take?
No, I think sometimes teams have your number, right? Didn't OKC lose to San Antonio 3 times? Sometimes, right. And the Celtics have been having problems with the Knicks now for last year. So listen, sometimes they just have your number and there's nothing you can do about it. And I agree with Jay. I think that your growth. Listen, a lot of people pick the Knicks to go to the finals this year, probably because of what they did last year. And sometimes you have to learn how to lose first in order to win. And so sometimes teams, they're going to lose in the Eastern Conference Finals or whatever it is. And then the next year they're going to figure it out and bounce back. And to Jay's point again, like when you have a new coach, every time the new coach doesn't always get it. And Frank, this, and I'm going to cross sports for half a second. When the Bruins fired Bruce Cassidy, he went to the Las Vegas Knights that first year. They won the whole thing. So sometimes that magic can work, but sometimes you got to take a step back. And so the Knicks, Listen, they've had ups and downs. Every team has ups and downs. You're not going to win 40 games in a row. It doesn't work that way.
Sometimes it can implode too because you could bring in a new coach and the team can go completely in the opposite direction. You know, we could use a lot of examples of that.
I don't see that with them though. The Knicks.
I
agree with. I know what you're saying, and I agree.
For the
But
record,
I don't see that with them.
for the record, I'm gonna say this: I don't think the New York Knicks should have fired Tom Thibodeau. I don't think they should have done that at all.
I disagree. He had to go.
I
He
don't
had to
think
get up out of here.
Well, I say this: we'll see this year because at the end of the day, they were on pace and on track. Literally, they went to the second round of the playoffs. They were getting ready to go to the third round of the playoffs. They were on pace to get into the finals, and they fired him. If they don't make the finals, then we're gonna have this conversation because at the end of the day, that's taking steps back. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
But when he blew that game against the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals in the Garden, they said, "Get you and your Charlie Brown hair up out of New York City."
And now
I'm with Jay. I'm with Jay. I think it was his time to go, but I think they regressed at the coaching. I don't think they got better.
Yeah, that's my point. And I think that they
should have got a better coach than what they got, but Thibodeau had to go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But thank you for hiring Mike Brown.
Sometimes the grass always looks green on the other side until you get on that other side. Then it's not, right? So here's the question, Howie Bell. Because I saw this question on I think it was First Take or something. At least I heard it today in the background. More, less, or the same faith in the Knicks getting to the finals? More, less, or the same faith in the Knicks getting to the finals? And I heard what they said on First Take today, and they dogged the Knicks today. They when I say they dogged them, they dogged the Knicks today. But you know, my reason why I wanted to bring it up, Howie, is because again, they got a new coach, they got a new system, they got new things in place, and the New York fan base is expecting the New York Knicks to get to the finals this year. That's what they're expecting when they hired Mike Brown. I don't care what nobody says. That's what they're expecting.
Yeah.
Howie Bell, more, less, or the same?
For me, I would say I got the same faith in them because I didn't think they was going to go anyway. So that's the exact same way I feel now. It's the same way I've been feeling the whole time. My emotions have never changed. I got the same faith in them as I had before. I thought the Pistons were going to beat them last year, but this year it's no chance. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same. They're not going.
All right, so it's the same. Yeah. So that brings me to the other Pistons fan and up here. More or less of the same faith in the Knicks getting to the finals. D. Jones, what's your take on that, man? Did you think they were possibly going to get to the finals before the season started? And where are your thoughts at now?
Yeah, before the season started, I thought they'd probably be number one in the East because of Tatum not being with Boston. So I kind of thought they would be number one. But I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 teams that can pop them. Well, 5 teams that can pop them in the playoffs. Boston's 1, Cleveland's 2, Philly's 3, Atlanta's 4. And we know the 5th. Yeah, less.
Yeah. So less. Okay. So that brings me to Jay. Jay, as a Knicks fan, where was your thought process at the beginning of the season, and where are you at now? So the question really is more, less, or the same faith in the Knicks' final run versus where you was at the beginning of the season, where you are today, February 20th.
Wait, I'm sorry. I didn't know Jay was a Knicks fan.
Hey, D. Jones, I was about to correct the record.
Okay.
Jay is a Miami Heat fan.
That's what I thought.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Jay's a Miami Heat
Jay
fan.
lives in New York City.
Right.
Okay.
Shout out to Mo.
Right. We need Mo, the resident Knicks fan.
I just got confused because both of them was on me all the time. You know what I mean? And talk about the Knicks last year. So I got it confused. I apologize. Go ahead. Jay.
See if the Knicks will give you some of that housing.
You know what? OnlyFans page. Hey, OnlyFans free all they offering, Howie. That's all they got. They said, they hit him with that Jesus. And you give a man a fish, he eat for a day.
Right.
You give him a studio, she can get housing on her own. For me, I'm like Howie, but for a different reason. I mean, I think it's the same. I think that they're still probably going to make the Eastern Conference Finals because ain't no real killers in the East outside of Detroit. And in the NBA, unlike any other professional sport, you don't need a really good team. You need like 2-3 really good players. And the Knicks got like 2-3 really good players who could be a problem in the playoffs. So if you got some superstars that are better than the other team stars, then you can make a run in the playoffs. So I think that they'll probably make these conference finals, run into Detroit, and the run gonna be over with. But I don't think they're gonna make the finals this year.
Okay, so that leaves me to white chocolate. More, less, or the same faith in the Knicks final run versus on February 20th versus where you thought about the Knicks at the beginning of the season?
I had the same answer as Howie. It's just not going to sound as funny.
At least he's honest.
I figured they'd be the same and make the Eastern Conference Finals at the beginning of the year because the Celtics are having a problem with them. So if they face each other in the playoffs, I thought the Knicks would win the division. They still might. I thought they'd be one of the top teams in the East, and they still might. So it's not over yet. So I'd say it's the same. I think that they probably still have the ability to make the Eastern Conference Finals, and that's why I think it's the same. I don't think it's less. I mean, they changed the coach, but they still have the same guys. It's just a matter of how they gel, and they have more time to get their act together.
I got a question or a statement.
Okay.
If the playoffs started today, they not beating the 76ers?
Yeah, that's the truth.
I don't see it.
Yeah, that's right. And the Knicks,
So we don't know that though, because
We don't.
you got to
But
win
I'm
4
saying
games,
that's
man.
Go the distance.
You got to win 4. Embiid only gonna play in one of those.
Tyrese
Okay.
Maxey, man.
or two. All right, so that brings me to the West, Howie, because I saw this question today also about OKC. And there were some teams that, they were talking about in the West, because the West is a gauntlet. No matter how you look at it, the West is a gauntlet.
Yes.
So the West it could roll out to be anybody if you ask me. But the question was posed: what team should the OKC be most worried about? Now they gave 3 teams. It might not be the 3 teams they gave, in your opinion. So literally, you got the Spurs, the Rockets, or the Nuggets. Who do you think the OKC should be worried about as a defending champs? Howie Bell.
I mean, it's probably the obvious answer. I'm gonna say the Spurs, man. I mean, they gotta be worried about this. That Wembanyama dude, man. What the hell? Hey, man, he is a freak of nature.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? How do you pronounce it? I always get it wrong.
Wembanyama.
Yeah.
Wembanyama.
Yeah.
What country is he from?
France.
He's from France. Okay.
That's French for really tall half-breed.
Man, dude, man, dog, he's a freak of nature, man. I mean, so I would be really worried, but he has a little injury-prone-ish thing going on with him too. But I would be worried about them more than any other team. Is that dude, man? You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, listen, bro, and they got their number too. They know how to beat them.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I would be worried about the Spurs.
I think nobody's talking about the Houston Rockets. That's the team. I've been saying that for the beginning of the season. I think if Houston is able to get it together and they get a guard, or I don't know what Fred VanVleet, his issues is like. Steve, if you can look at that for me while we ask these questions, look up Fred VanVleet's return.
Fred VanVleet, yeah, okay.
Yeah, for the Houston Rockets. D. Jones, that leads me to you, man. What team should OKC be most worried about? Because OKC, the question was posed, with that, and they said the Spurs, the Rockets, or the Nuggets. I'm thinking the Rockets because everybody's overlooking the Rockets. What's your take, D. Jones?
No.
Definitely the Spurs if Wemby can stay healthy. Because like Howie said, he a little brittle. Then you got Denver. If Denver gets 100% healthy, hey, that's a toss-up. Then you got Houston. The problem with Houston is they don't have a point guard.
Right.
Sangoon don't play really good defense. So even though I like his game, they don't have a rim protector or a point guard. And man, Amon Thompson, he good, but he's not a point guard. And don't sleep on that boy Ant-Man either.
Yeah, that's true too. But the only reason why I want to put Houston up in there, man, is because they got Ime Udoka, and to me, he's the second best coach in the league.
Yeah, so I put San Antonio, Denver, Houston, and Minnesota. The only team that don't play no defense that's in the top 5 is the Lakers, and they out in the first round.
Yeah, but
Get
like I
outta
said,
here.
everybody keeps overlooking Houston, Jay, because Houston is what Houston is. But I think Houston's a tough out before you come 4 out of 7. That's what I think. But Jay, give me your 3 teams.
Man, listen. Number one got to be San Antonio because they can't beat them ever.
Right.
Number two, Denver healthy is a problem.
Right.
And number three, pick one. You know what I'm saying? Because the West is so loaded to that you can't be surprised if the Clippers pick somebody off.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Kawhi balls the way I saw him ball in that All-Star game, like
I'm
that
trying to tell
Kawhi,
you.
if that Kawhi comes back and plays, bro, the Clippers
It's
are going
over.
to be a problem.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, and Phoenix is dangerous. So I mean, for me, I mean, Houston is like the obvious choice. So I'll say Houston because they've done it all season, you know, and they're healthy. But it could be any of 6 teams in the West.
That's very true. That's why I like the West, because the West is a gauntlet. But White Chocolate, what's your take on all this situation, man? What are we looking at?
So first, let me give you the Fred VanVleet update. They based his possible return on Adrian Peterson coming back in 8.5 months. That would put him in May to come back in the playoffs if he were to return. But he says that he's probably looking at sitting out the whole year.
Yeah.
So he's probably not coming back. As far as the gauntlet in the West, listen, the team that's the sleeper team is Denver with the Joker. That I know that San Antonio has had OKC's number, but that team's that there's always one sleeper team or whatever you want to call it that comes out, and that's in baseball, football, hockey,
all the sports. Yeah.
So I say Denver. If the Joker's healthy, that's the team I'd be worried about if I was OKC.
Okay,
and Jamal Murray, yeah.
So Howie, that brings me up to another question, man, that they asked today. I was like, I got to ask the guys this question too, because I love this question. And the question is, what team does Steph Curry have to leave the Warriors to win a 5th title? And unequivocally, I think yes. I think without a shadow of a doubt, he has to leave because he's definitely not going to do it with the Golden State Warriors. But here's the crazy part, Howie Bell. The Warriors have, I think they said 6 draft picks in the next couple of years. They got 6 great draft picks next couple of years. So the Golden State Warriors can get better next year because Jimmy Butler's coming back. They got Kristaps Porzingis. They got Al Horford, who might retire. But, the team could be right back in the mix next year with 1 draft pick and, of course, with the team that they have right now. What's your take on this, Howie Bell? Does Steph Curry have to leave the Warriors or should he stay?
Man, that's a tough one. He could leave. He could just go get a little cottage somewhere in Houston. You know what I'm saying? And keep his crib and up there, man, and Cali. He could leave. I would go to Houston, go get that ring, and then retire. You know what I'm saying? I think he should leave. I mean, but will he leave is a whole other question, or should he leave? Is your question is? I don't know. He got a lot left in him. He got a lot left in the tank, and I don't think Golden State. I don't think he can wait that many years to see if some draft picks are going to play out. So I would go somewhere, man, and get it done.
Him going to Houston is a great idea, Howie Bell. I never even thought of that because that's exactly what they need. Houston, that's exactly what they need.
That's it.
But if he went to Detroit, I don't know why you didn't mention Detroit. If he went to Detroit, that's what they need too. You know what I mean? And that'd be a wrap with that one. So that brings me to you, D. Jones. Does Steph have to leave the Warriors to win a 5th title, or do you think before he retires, he'll be able to win his 5th title there?
I can only think about 3 greats that retired with their team: Magic, Bird, Kobe. I think most of them.
Isaiah.
I meant to say Isaiah. Kobe tried to leave, but it didn't happen. I would say he should leave because that's what all the greats. It happens. And you took my thunder. If you put Steph next to Cade Cunningham, we're going back to back, and he's going to tie Michael Jordan. He'll tie Michael Jordan with the rings.
Yeah, honestly, that's not a bad idea at all. But the Detroit Pistons have the collateral, to be able to trade for him without losing too much, to be able to give, lose too much of their team to give to the Golden State Warriors to be able to attract Steph Curry. You know what I mean?
I trade every Little Caesars in Michigan.
But you know what though? But the only thing about Steph Curry is I don't know if he can fight. So if he can't
Joe
fight,
Dumars didn't fight.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Joe
Jay
Dumars,
did.
no,
Yeah,
he
he
Joe
did.
didn't.
Dumars was a strong country
Yeah, he did. Joe
man,
Dumars
Louisiana
fought.
I
boy.
don't never remember Joe
Steph,
Dumars getting in a scrap.
yeah, you too young to remember.
No, I
That's
watched
why.
every bad boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
He showed me
he
one
fought.
flip.
He wasn't the
They didn't
first
try
fighter.
Joe Dumars, bro.
Yeah.
He didn't
But
fight.
Steph Curry don't fight at all, and he get knocked down on a foul. So he might
Did you
not
not
fit
just
in.
see Duncan Robinson walk away?
Jay, that brings me to you. Jay, that brings me to you. Does Steph Curry have to leave the Warriors to win a 5th title, or do you think he's going to get a 5th title at Golden State?
Hey, Frank, I need you to ask us serious questions, bro. You know what I mean? Listen, do we have to leave Golden State to win a title? Listen, Golden State is so old, bro. They got to schedule naps and serve Jello. Okay? They playing bingo in player meetings, boy. What the hell? Hell yeah, he gotta leave. Yeah, man, listen, if he want another ring, he gonna have to leave Golden State.
And go where? Where you see him going if he does leave?
He gonna go to the Lakers. LeBron gonna get him.
Nah,
He got to go anywhere where where he willing to become ML Carr and wave that towel.
Yeah.
He got to become a professional towel waver.
Go back and play with. He gonna go back and play with KD, man.
Yeah, but where you see him
No,
going?
man. To me, LeBron would make a lot of sense, man. High IQ player, but the Lakers, I mean, they got a lot of youth on their team.
Yeah, but if you put Steph on the Lakers right now with the team they have right now, they're not winning the title.
They can't win because nobody guards. Nobody can guard. So honestly,
no defense.
So honestly, the only place it would make sense for him to go, like logically, outside of what D. Jones said, is OKC. Because they're really deep. Everybody defends. They could cover up, for his defensive deficiencies, and he ain't got to play heavy minutes for him. Like, why not? And then playing with Wemby wouldn't be bad either.
They definitely have the draft capital. OKC definitely got the draft capital. You know what I mean? San Antonio's not a bad idea either, though. San Antonio, actually, that's probably a really great idea if he goes to San Antonio. Steve,
it's all dumb ideas. The Pistons.
Okay, the Pistons. Steve, the question, Steve, on the table right now: does Steph have to leave the Warriors to win a 5th title, or can he stay in Golden State and get that?
First of all, since we're talking about naps and Jello, and I'm due for a nap, what flavor Jello are we serving?
Always cherry. It's always cherry.
I love cherry. That's great.
Oh, the green one.
See, hey, listen, this might be
green flavor.
Listen, I just gave us a top 5. What's your favorite Jello flavor? All right.
That's a terrible top 5.
All right. All right. Listen, sorry, Frank. Listen, he has to leave Golden State because they don't have. Too old. They're not going to win another title. Where he's going to go, I just looked real quick. The teams with the most cap space right now are Chicago, Washington, the Clippers, Utah, the Lakers, the Nets, and Atlanta. Those are the teams that have the most cap space. So whoever trades for him has to work within the cap or go over the luxury tax. So now you're talking about, everybody says OKC, they'd have to give up maybe some players or draft capital. I think San Antonio would be a good fit for him, and so would Houston. So and even Denver. Any of those 3 teams, if they picked him up, they would give OKC a run for their money and they'd have a shot.
All right. So that leads me to, I'm trying to get a couple more of these questions out of here. Howie Bell, that leads me to the NBA MVP runners right now. We got, right now, the sports writers got Cade Cunningham, Jaylen Brown, Anthony Edwards, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, and Tyrese Maxey. I know being a Pistons fan, you want to lean towards, obviously, Cade Cunningham. So let's just say Cade Cunningham's not in the room. If it ain't Cade Cunningham for you, if it ain't Cade Cunningham, who else you got?
Cunningham, Cade.
You go ahead and skip. You can skip D. Jones too. We get the same answer.
You know what I mean? We can skip these guys, huh?
CC. No, I would have to say Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
I would go with the Ant-Man. You know what I'm saying? I think he's balling out. And like what he did at the All-Star, weekend, I think if he continues that play and does that, man, and leads his team back into a deep little run into the playoff, I think that he will be my second choice scorer.
All right, so that leads me to D Jones. D Jones, I'll give you this. Cade is averaging 25.3 points, 9.6 assists, second in the NBA behind Jokic. But I will say this: I think right now he's in the front runner to get the MVP. But if it ain't him, who would you go for, D Jones?
Dylan Cunningham. Dylan. I'm gonna have to go Jaylen Brown, bro. He been balling. Like he Tatum who? Like I would have to go K Deuce, smooth operator, then Jaylen Brown. He been balling, bro. Jaylen been balling.
Okay, so that leads me to you, Jay. Jay, you got all these MVP front runners right now. Cade, obviously, Jaylen Brown, Anthony Edwards, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey. All these dudes are having a great season. You know what I mean? All of them having a great season. Who you got, Jay?
I mean, real quick, D Jones, you are right, man. Jalen is balling like like Tatum was holding him back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he got a mission. He's on a mission. Yeah,
he's like, I can do without this light skin, man.
Man.
I don't know, man. I mean, who do they want to make a star? You know what I'm saying? Like, who do they want
Wemby,
the face of the league to be right now?
Wemby.
He's right.
Wemby's missed a lot of games, so I don't think they'll give it to Wemby.
He's fourth in the odds, though.
Wemby's not even. Yeah, but Wemby's not even in the running though. The sports writer.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna give it to him, man. Because he's missed a lot of games this year. So if it's not Cade, man, that's
all right. Okay.
I can't see Cade not getting it at this point. But Shea is always lurking, man. You know, because he's still playing well. Joker's missed a lot of games, so he's out of the discussion. I mean, a dark horse, I say Tyrese Maxey.
Okay. Steve, who do you think, Steve, you know, as a fan looking at it from outside in, who do you think out of all the players, because it's a pretty even field somewhat. Who do you think, Steve?
Well, again, I have the same answer as D Jones. It's not going to sound as funny. I have Jaylen Brown because we're Celtics fans. I get to see a lot of him. He really has stepped up in Jason Tatum's absence. He's having a phenomenal year. And I think that the thing that's lost on the MVP voting, and it comes down to mostly the most popular, or as you guys mentioned, who they want as the face. But it should be, if you pluck this guy off the team, what would their record be? If they didn't have Jaylen Brown, the Celtics wouldn't be in first place. They might be 8th or 9th or nowhere. If you took Cade Cunningham off of Detroit, where would they be? Would they still be in first place? That's the gist of how that voting should go, but they never do it that way. It's always the guy with the best stats, and sometimes not even on the best team, but they do use that as part of it. But my vote will go to Jaylen Brown just because I've seen what he's done. Another triple-double yesterday, by the way, 25 points, 23 points, 15 rebounds, 13 assists. He's carrying the load. And so
only 25? That's crazy.
Listen, when he sat down I was watching the game. When he sat down, the Celtics were up by 37. When he came back and when he sat down, then obviously the Celtics lose that whole lead and they get it to 20, and then he comes back in the game, you know what I mean? And then they end up winning by 11. But at the end of the day, he's definitely a difference maker, for me. Which leads me to, speaking of difference makers on teams, Cleveland Cavaliers have James Harden right now. James Harden got the Cleveland Cavaliers 4-0. Ever since he came to the team, Howie Bell, the crazy part is Cleveland hasn't lost the game. He has lost the game. Are we gonna be? Is he gonna make a difference coming into the for the playoffs for Cleveland? Because nobody's looking at Cleveland Cavaliers. Like, we all had this discussion, and not one person said Cleveland Cavaliers when we talk about the East. You know what I mean? So, what you think, Howie?
I don't know, man. That beard is fugazi.
Yep. Yep.
It's a fugazi, bro. That always get people every time. He always come do something spectacular and then fold like a chair. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I don't believe in him. You know what I'm saying at all. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Fugazi.
Okay.
You know,
All right. So that's what you got. Let me see, D Jones. What's your thoughts on this situation going on in Cleveland with James Harden? Now they're undefeated. They're 4-0.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm this nervous about that pairing, but I know in the playoffs, one of them cats ain't gonna show up.
Mhm.
So the last four, they beat Denver by
Yep.
2.
Yep.
Good job. They beat Sacramento, they beat Washington, and they beat Brooklyn. So what? We can beat them if we shoot up. They got Charlotte tonight, OKC, New York, Milwaukee, then Detroit. So these next 5 games, we gonna see, because Charlotte ain't no easy win either.
Yeah, Charlotte's not Charlotte's not a given either. Jay, what's your take on this, bro?
I can't believe in James Harden, man. I just,
not enough.
you know what I'm saying? I mean, like I went through that dude here in Brooklyn, and he always shows up, you know, with a flash. You know what I mean? You know, he show up, oh yeah, you know, he's happy to be out and he's playing well, you know, and then you want to believe in him, you know, you want to think your team is good, and then it's just a matter of time before the crash out coming, and he's showing up to the gym, you know, with glitter on his jersey, smell like strip club wings. You know what I mean?
Not in Cleveland.
Listen, I mean, Cleveland too, man. I mean, they just ain't as pretty, but he gonna go with wherever the wings at, wherever them girls wearing that glitter. That's what he gonna be.
Have you
I'm
seen
telling you, it's a matter of time, bro.
All right. So that's what
It's a matter
you
of
got.
time.
So let me see what Steve's got to say. Steve, what you think?
I kind of agree with those guys. I mean, I think I might have said this on a previous show. He just reminds me of the diva wide receivers. He's fine for the first year. He's fine for a little while, and then he gets disgruntled and he forces his way out of town. And that's kind of what this is right here. He'll be fine this year, and the next year, if things aren't going the way he wants, he'll force his way out, and that's just kind of. And so he'll help them for now. And again, in the playoffs, he does have a habit of disappearing.
How many teams he's been on in the last 5 years? I think he's been on 4 teams in 5
Oh my
years.
God!
Give me a second. I'll find it for you.
Yeah, he's looking 4th team or 5.
How many? No, the real question is, how many purses does he own? That's the real question.
And Jay, women in Cleveland look like McDonald's chefs.
Oh my goodness.
It's the Midwest, man. You know what I mean? They need it extra.
That happens in the
Well,
Midwest.
no, Detroit women fine.
I ain't never been to Detroit. That's a place I want to check out.
Y'all got some now.
We got some.
Yeah.
You gotta catch them young, though. You gotta catch them young.
I heard about Detroit in Chicago. Howie Bell, that brings me up to, we got to talk about college basketball real fast. The number 1 Michigan is facing number 3 Duke this weekend, man. It looked like it's going to be a good game this weekend. Everybody's talking about it, and everybody's talking about they got some guys, they got some horses over there at Michigan. But Duke's supposed to be not so shabby at all either, Howie Bell. What's your take on this game this weekend? How are you looking at it?
Man, you know, this throwback game right there, man. Michigan and Duke, baby.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm loving it, man. Michigan is real good right now, too. So, you know, I'm very biased with this. I hope we beat the crap out of them. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm looking forward to this game. I think it's going to be exciting. You know what I'm saying? The women in Ann Arbor ain't as fine as Detroit, but they'll do. And, man, hey, look, bro, good game. Good weekend, man. Good game. Good throwback game.
Yeah, hey, I'm looking forward to it too. D Jones, is there any kind of implication between Duke and Michigan of an NCAA tournament?
This could be the finals right here. These two teams. I hope Michigan whoop them. It feels like every time a Michigan team play Duke, we come out on the wrong end. So I want to see. U of M got good coaching. I really commend their coach. And Duke is good, but they always get the best players. So let's go out here in a hostile environment. I think it's in a neutral place too.
Yeah, it is a neutral place.
And let's beat Duke. I'm gonna watch this game. It's gonna be a good game. I think they come on tomorrow, and the Pistons.
Yeah, they sure do. So that brings me to you, Jay. You're the college basketball. Okay, who's those fingers for? Michigan or Duke?
That's for Duke.
Okay.
And when I say Duke, I spell it D-O-O-K. Okay. Listen. I said this earlier, man, and I mean this. I'm not being funny. I hate Duke so much because of their fans that if they played the KKK All-Stars, I'm conflicted. Because I see them as wearing the same.
Hilarious. I
You know
hate
what I
Duke.
mean? I hate Duke, man. I hope Michigan beat them by 1,000,000,000,000,000 points.
So Jay, is this an implication of what we're gonna see at the tournament?
They're both real good teams, man. So I mean, I expect both of them, to go deep. But it's college players, man. These are 17 to like 22-year-olds, man. So a better team can get plucked because it's not a series. It's one game. So
Right. That's what I love about college basketball. Whoever
yeah,
shows up.
yeah.
So all right, Steve, give me your thoughts on Michigan. Oh, tell me about this James Harden thing first. Tell me that.
James Harden since 2020-21 season, 5 teams: Cavaliers, Clippers, Sixers, Nets, and Rockets.
That's terrible.
That's a team every year.
He's forced his way out of every team every year.
That's one team every year.
Yeah, it's a team a year. All right, Steve, talk to me, man. Michigan versus Duke.
So listen, if you want to hype up before the tournament starts, this is a great place to start. I don't follow college basketball like you guys do, or like I used to, but I just took a quick look at the history. Duke leads the series 22-8, and their last meeting was in 2013, and Duke won 79-67, 83, 79-69. So listen, this is good for it's good for college basketball. It's good heading into the tournament, and it's a marquee matchup.
Yep, exciting.
So it's good.
It's good, exciting. All right, so that's about it. As we head into the weekend, we got things that we get ready to do and everything else. It's Friday. Howie, what are you looking at going into the weekend? And after you answer that, tell everybody else what you got going on and what you're doing.
Well, I want to start by saying, Jay, what if Duke was playing against the MAGA insurrectionists? How conflicted would you be then?
The Trumpeteers.
The Trumpeteers.
Howie, they could have the MAGA insurrections could have a dancing jigaboo in blackface, and I still wouldn't know who I really wanted to take.
The MAGA insurrectionists.
I'd be conflicted, man. God.
Oh
We're all
man,
laughing, but he's serious.
I'm serious.
He's serious.
I'm serious, man. I hate Duke that much.
All right, come on, Howie.
man, I'm here in Chicago still, man. That's why I'm here. It's windy. It's very windy. I see why they got the name Windy City. Trust me when I tell you today it's cold as hell. But I'm chilling, man. Today I'm off. Tomorrow, the next 2 days, I'm doing 2 more shows before I get out of here with Uncle Rel from Chicago, my buddy. And man, I'm on my way to the Netherlands next week, brothers. So I'll be on my way out, man. But I'll be doing the show a couple more times before that.
All right, there it is. That means that D Jones. How are you looking into the weekend, bro? What you got going on? And how can we
Follow me at 313 D Jones. I was supposed to be in Chicago this weekend, but it didn't happen. And JB Bickerstaff, if you ever see this, rest all the starters tomorrow because we got San Antonio, Oklahoma, Cleveland, Orlando, Cleveland, San Antonio. So we need everybody else.
Yep. And the Celtics are sitting there looking at all of that. We looking at it.
Y'all still ain't gonna catch us.
Yes, we are. KJ, talk to me, man. Talk to me. Tell me what you got going on. How we can follow you.
Hey man, you can follow me at JD Hayes out here on Fanbase. And listen, I'm gonna have a long talk with God about this weather he's sending our way this weekend, and ask him why is this happening to us again? This is like another foot of snow.
What, really,
bro?
In New York?
Yeah, like the 22nd. Like 16 inches of snow.
Wow.
And unlike Howie, who they're laying became a tenderfoot. He went out there. He got softened up. I checked the weather in Chicago. It's 35 degrees in Chicago and it feels like 16. That's a heat wave here, bro. Come on,
freezing.
I'm Howie. We feeling it warm today. We think it's warm. I'm like, yeah,
man.
Hey, man, listen, bro. I'm tired of people talking about, oh, you from Detroit. You're supposed to be used to this. Like I've been practicing all my life to get to the next cold city.
That's Chicago.
I hate it there too.
Chicago wins something else.
Yeah, this wind is crazy.
Everybody out there, how they can follow you, bro.
All right, listen, real quick. My wife's birthday was yesterday, so tomorrow night we're going to take her out for dinner.
Okay.
That's on the agenda. Damn this effing snow, Jay. I'm with you. And follow me on www.napsandjello.com.
Yeah, y'all about to have that.
Jello,
running
baby,
joke
let's
for us.
We out of here, man. Thank y'all for watching. Name of the show is called Box Seats. On Monday, we are going to do a recap of all the college basketball that's happening this weekend. Of course,
Nice.
we'll talk about all the cuts and stuff that's happening too. We didn't even get a chance to talk about some of these shocking cuts that's happening, but we're going to talk about that in the NFL. We're also going to talk about the Olympics, and we're going to talk about we're going to talk about Detroit basketball. We're going to do that, but we're going to talk about other NBA stuff too. We're going to do that. All that's on Monday's show of Box Seats. Y'all don't want to miss that. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all have a beautiful, safe weekend. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Hey, what you need, yeah.